Monday. Happy Monday. Oh my God, the wind is so strong. So I try to get a walk in every afternoon. I'm on the Cinta Costera. Let's see if I can show you the skyline. Water, skyline. Yep, that's my Panama. Alright, so today I spent most of the day, I had like a list of things to do. I finished my training last week, and for those of you who may not know, I received training. I don't know if you can hear this. I have those earplugs, and it's like the wind is strong. That happens in the afternoon here on the center. The Pacific breeze is really strong, but it's kind of nice because it's usually pretty warm still. That's why most of us, we stay indoors during the day. So I had a 2-day Zoom training last weekend, and I have to do one practicum. And then I'm telling everybody in the universe that I'm going to be doing companion travel for seniors and anyone with a disability, or like accompanied minors, of course, on my time, maybe once or twice a month. But the good thing is, I make all the preparations, the flight accommodations, and everything else. So if there is a, adult children want to go on a cruise with grandma, want to go on a family reunion, want to fly grandma out or grandpa, we can be sexist, to a wedding, and this guy's feeding. We have stray cats, and um, what's the? I think last time I showed you some what looked like raccoons, and people were touching them and feeding. I'm like, whew, okay, not more. I stay away. But anyway, so if someone wants to travel with grandma who may have mild to moderate dementia, and they're just worried, this is where I come in. Not as a nurse and a companion. So the people on my call in the class, there were people are saying, I did this, did that, and I'm like, that's kind of crossing the line between a companion and a medical provider. And of course, because I understand the legalities, I would try to avoid those scenarios. Also, if you have someone who is really advanced dementia and they can follow directions, they're really agitated, they would not be um, a candidate for that. And of course, I would do the screening, and I would go by what I feel is a safe, um, this, we have 2 lanes, 1 lane for walkers and 1 lane for bicycles. So I have to stay away so I don't get run over. We had the parade last night, but I mean, a lot of people. And sometimes we see a lot more. So it's kind of nice. A lot of families just strolling around. Kind of what I saw when I was in Chile. In the afternoon, after work, people were just strolling around. And they didn't even have a Cinta Costera. Panama is really lucky, or we are lucky that we have a place dedicated to walking and enjoying life and each other. So if you guys know anybody who might have a need, I was talking to an old friend the other day. She's like, well, I might have to go to Israel in a couple of years. Maybe by then I'll need your services. And I'm like, okay. So I'm also looking to do some maybe pet relocation or senior relocation, or I already said unaccompanied minors. And what else did I say? Um, oh, small group outings. Because you may have some old, 2/3 of the people who travel are single women over 65. That's a good statistic, right? I fall into that category. So doing this, it just brings together my love of old people and my love of travel, right? So I am so looking forward to it. But of course, I know with any business, it takes marketing and networking and getting the word out. Gonna have a website, old business cards with we don't use anymore in the US, but I think I'll need that. So I am still um, meeting other folks, going to lots of coffees, some lunches, and of course I have to kind of keep an eye on my budget. Like every single week there are like 2, 3, or 4 events. So this is a nice problem to have where I can kind of go based on my interest and also my budget. So I don't have to keep going to everything. So I can just go and eat unhealthy food and probably being with people I don't really like. I want to do that. Yeah, you have to be careful with these bikes. Sometimes they're not paying attention. So these are my news. And I mean, if you know me, I'm forever exploring, growing. It keeps the mind going, keeps me interested, not necessarily interesting, but interested. And when I drop dead, I will drop doing everything I love. It won't be because I'm sitting down doing nothing. So I'm trying to stay fit, keeping my weight under control. The diet is the challenge. I'm still mostly plant based. I'm eating some tuna fish, some fish, not really chicken. Although, if I go to an outing, to an event, I'm not going to be one of those people that saying, well, I'm vegan. Can you do a special plate for me? I don't do that. I'll eat whatever I feel like eating. Chicken kind of turns me off right now. And I've never been a beef person, but you put some grill in front of me, you put some oxtail, I make no promises, none whatsoever. So all along the center, there are people selling trinkets, a lot of the indigenous people selling their wares, and people selling drinks, and the all popular chorizo. You say Panama, you need to think white rice, beans, chicken, chorizo, empanadas, okay? And of course, sodas. They drink too much soda, God help them. Anyway, diabetes is rampant. And I'm also trying to find a place where I can volunteer 1 or 2 days a week. I I live next to like 2 or 3 hospitals, so I said I'm gonna walk in there one day and say, "Are you looking for anybody to volunteer? I can file." The other day I went to a church, and Don Bosco Church, and in a very needy area, a lot of prostitutes and homelessness. So I'm gonna contact them and see if they might need someone to maybe cook, um, or whatever. I start at the bottom. It's not a problem. We just want to be involved. Of course, I have an interest in young women just give people skills, because it's easy to just go and donate school supplies and clothes that you don't want. But I think it's more important to empower these people with the means to help themselves, right? Um, there's a lot of buzz about gentrification and some of the locals, and that's everywhere, right? It's not just here. We hear this thing about Mexico and other places. The locals are a little bit resentful that we come and we buy property and then we're living large. There is a lot of buzz going on here about a country in Africa called the Gambia, where several uh, black women, expats, have died. And of course, the internet is in spasms right now, talking about a serial killer or they don't want us. People just go crazy about these things. So, anyway, we're just staying here, laying low. You guys don't really have to worry so much about me. I'm very careful and I'm a safe traveler. I'm really not out at night. And if I go to an event, even though my primary means of transportation is the bus, which has become really, the services has really gotten bad. It appears that there are less buses running and a lot more time in between when the bus would come to an expected stop. They are not on time, and when you do get on, it is packed. So the only thing I'm thinking when I get on, so I avoid rush hours, because if I get on one, I know it's going to be super busy, and depending on where my stop is, I might have to stand the whole time, rubbing against people, and I'm thinking COVID, the flu. No, I don't want any of that. So I try my best. My favorite means of transportation here is the metro. It's always on time, always clean, even though sometimes it also gets real busy and congested. Of course, people are going to work to and from, so that is one reason sometimes uh, the metro is packed. Oh, let me get in the middle. Sometimes I worry I'm going to trip or somebody's going to hit my ankle and I'm going to fall. I haven't fallen yet, thank God. But people here have broken ankles, twisted ankles, and arms, especially by not looking where they're going. But here in the center, it's pretty even, so I'm safe. Um, yeah, so the metro is good. I like it. And of course, there's something we call here metro culture. So many times I get there, and of course, I know I don't look my age, but if I'm standing, most of the time, a young person is going to stand up and say, Senora. And I'm like, oh, gracias. So in Panama, not so much on the buses, but on the metro, if an old person gets on, a pregnant woman has preference. Somebody with a child, yes, they get preference. And children ride free, buses or the metro. What I'm hoping they could have done is like England. You get to be a certain age and you have a special card and you do ride for free. That would be nice. But you know what? Sometimes people get on and they scan, because you don't pay cash, you have to scan your card. And they do that. And it's like beep, beep, beep. That means they don't have enough money. And a lot of us will just say, oh, we'll just scan it for them. And then try to give you a quarter because that's what it costs. And I was like, no, está bien, está bien. So, trying to pay it forward, because a lot of us here are so grateful to be in Panama that. So, I stay out of politics. I stay off the streets at night. Now, during the day, no holds barred. I just get on. Lately, I find myself staying home a lot, and I don't like that, because I'm a homebody. I don't like to be running here and there, but I just like to explore new areas. Like I'll hop on a bus that I haven't been on before and just see where it takes me. And then I look around. When the last person gets off, I get off. So, and what's most important is just the ride. You get to see, oh, okay, I can take this bus here, this stops there. So I've only been back going on 3 months. So I think I'm doing okay. Right now, I'm in the process of evaluating a couple, a few plans for medical. I have Medicare in the States, but I'm not one of those people who want to run back to the States if I get ill. No, but I was looking for a catastrophic plan in case something drastic happens. But those catastrophic plans, they stop at 64. Most of the insurances here in Panama, but on a global plans, they stop at 65, 64 or 65. So you you get left out, because the idea is still that you're gonna have more complications, which is true. But we, this new generation of aging boomers, I feel like we're a lot healthier, we're more health conscious. So I'm really pleased to see that when I am walking at night, I see a lot of older people and people walking. So that warms my heart. But the food situation is a whole, a whole different ballgame. People love their meat. And that arroz blanco, they love that rice. So I don't know I don't know if there's anything I or anybody can do to tell a Panamanian not to eat rice. It's like telling a Haitian not to eat banan or griot. So I don't know. But I think there is the Caja de Seguro Social, which is like the Social Security or and public health roll into one. They are aiming their campaign at the kids, which is good. But when you aim at the kids, you have to get to the parents, right? Because they're the one doing the lunches. And I kind of remember what happened when Michelle Obama tried to do the healthy lunch. You I am telling you, you get so discouraged and disenchanted with people's thought processes that it's easy to say, you know what, the heck with it. You can let out f bombs seriously, because when you hear people what they do, people knowing that something is harmful to the population, but they'll go on with it just because of money. and and it's a dark place to be when you come to that realization. So I try not to let that um, cloud my thinking too much. So I have to make myself saying, okay, Maggie, stop it, move on. Because really, there's nothing I can do. People are evil and they keep doing all this craziness. But anyway, I've been babbling for a while. So that's my update. So if any of you watching this are thinking of moving or retiring to Panama, I have a new um, YouTube and Facebook page, channel/page, where I focus on single women retiring abroad. So today I watched several videos about other influencers. I'm not an influencer, talking about how people should be careful, especially if you're a single woman and you're traveling or you're retiring someplace. I'm telling you, I see people, they're at the bars and everywhere. And of course, people kind of know your routine. So you got to try to break it up, especially if you're not going to be around people. Now, at my apartment, they don't have a keyhole. which I think is wrong. They should have one. And a couple of times, somebody would knock on my door. And I have a long hallway. So usually I'm not like expecting visitors. So my dress is usually not what you would think it is. So sometimes I have to put something on. I get to the door and I'm like, bueno, bueno, which is how you say, who is it? And nobody answers. I don't open it to see. And a couple of times people have said, didn't you order this? It's like a Uber Eats delivery driver. I'm like, nope, I don't open. So you have got to be smart. Just like I wasn't smart enough when I got robbed, I am trying to be really smart about being a single person in a city. And even in those in the interior, the same principle applies. Although when I went to Bukete, which is what a little charming village type thing in the mountain, and I couldn't find a cab, I walked up. And as I was walking up the mountain, and really it was full of trees, it was a bit darkened, and I was like, oh my God. Every time I see a truck pass by, which is very few of them, I would say, don't stop. Sometimes they'll stop to ask you if you need something, try to offer you a ride, and that's when you get people get snapped. And I was thinking, oh, this is the area of Panama where some women have disappeared. I'm like, oh my God. But you know, I wasn't thinking. And that's usually what happens when you don't think. But I didn't have another choice. The people whose house I was house sitting, they were not in town. And then you in a strange place, a new place, and there's nobody there you can call to come and get you. So that would have been a problem. So God protected me. And again, I keep saying, if anything happens to me, it's because God allows it to happen. I'm going to try to be as smart as I can about my decisions, what I do, who I hang out with, and where I go. All right, lovelies. God bless you. That's my update. I'm going to keep walking. I say I'm going to do it every day. I guarantee you there are going to be days where I don't do it. So, but it's okay. It's my time. I do it as I see fit. It's the beauty of being retired. You make your own decision. I don't have to ask anybody when to go. Can I go? Oh no. Alrighty. So I could babble on forever. Have a good time, you guys. Have a good day, good night, good evening. God bless you. I love you. Au revoir. À la prochaine. Bonne journée. Mwah.